Okay, goodness gracious. Look at all this. Yeah, insulation and whatever the heck this is. This is, hey guys, gotta get out of the way. All right, this is a thing for mommy to uh, do her gardening. There, that's enough room for you guys to get around. Oh, geez. Okay. Morning. Hope you're having a good day. Ah, you got it just before me. Good job, I guess. She actually wants me to throw it, I know. But, she snatched it before I could get it. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're having a good morning. I have a little coffee here. It's about 78, 79 degrees. Just quite, just real close to getting to the 80-degree mark. Uh, Waited a little bit till there was a little more sunlight. I got an overcast day. Glasses are really dirty. All right. So this is going to be a very odd video. And even the title is going to be weird because, uh, oh, first, before I get into the AI stuff, um, the I said I was going to do some pictures and do some stuff. And what happened was I started working on something called Hit Films, which is a tool to do that. And before I got into it very much, I saw a video that said that Hit Films was not a good tool to use because they had been bought out by somebody else and they were no longer supporting the product real well and it was going downhill. And from what I could see, that video was accurate, but what I didn't, but then Hit Films is still considered one of the most user friendly for people just starting out. So I just don't know if I should use it or use something more difficult to use, but has actually a good user support group. So what I plan on doing, so it derailed everything I was planning on doing. What I need to do is I need to get on both of the tool, that tool, and there's another one that was recommended, and get on their Discord communities, or well, hopefully Discord communities because those are the most responsive. But if not, then Reddit and see what's going on. So anyway, that's why there was no video. So I apologize. Now, on to the topic of today. Today, I want to talk about feet. And you're like, what? Feet. Yes. And here, the reason for this is because this is one of the weak spots in artificial intelligence today. The way we have artificial intelligence work has a lot to do with what's called training. You give it information either through text or images, videos, something. You train it and say, learn. Here's examples of the way things are. And then it does an analysis and creates models and other things to uh, answer questions that may come in based upon the models that created on past knowledge. So, ran into an interesting thing with feet and video models. If you think about it, feet are ugly things typically. We don't treat our feet real well. Um, I've been uh, some people that wear sandals. It's like, oh, can you not see how curved your toes are, how ugly your feet are? But anyways, some of the models I was creating had feet in them, and yeah, the feet had 6 toes. Some of them had 2 toes, and they were god awful. And so I actually asked for some stuff with feet. I'm surprised they didn't get banned for doing that. But you think about what that really comes into is that there's not a lot of imagery they were trained on with that had a foot in it. Um, and even though we very well know how to do a foot, artists know how to do a foot. I mean, sculptors know how to do foot. We can all have the knowledge of that, but they learn off of trained stuff. And because feet are ugly, not a lot of pictures of them. And sometimes the pictures that are there because they are ugly, and people are pointing out that they are ugly. So the model gets a little bit confused. So unlike hands, which actually AI only recently, for a long time, it used to mess up hands. Finally, it's getting better at these because, hey, they're in a lot of stuff. They're in here, they're there, they're like this. There's the hands are there, present in lots of imagery. Not so much for this part. In fact, most of the things, if you want if you're doing a full body image, you might want to actually tell the AI to have it be in a shoot that doesn't show anything to do with toes. Make sure you cover that up because you can probably tell it's not very good. So the main focus of this video is not about feet. It is about holes in the data. Things that we as a society, even though it's something we live with constantly, we don't display it. We don't talk about it. We don't show it. Now, that being said, your AI model is now going to have a hole in it. I know some places like Midjourney is trying desperately to keep all their stuff PG-13. So they will push to not have anything in there that's like I can't tell you it was. I've been amazed at some of the images it's done, and I'm like, wait a minute, the woman doesn't have any breasts. Oh, because you want to be PG-13, so you covered that up. Oh, to the point where it's almost weirdly, what the hell? And so you get this, they are not only not presenting things to their AI to train it, they're actually putting barriers in so that the AI can never have any of these holes. So when you're doing AI, that is one of the things to keep in mind. When you ask it questions, especially questions that are, dare I say, taboo, you might want to ask it other questions to understand its limitations. And I think I mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again. Good example. I was I was reading the news, and I live in Texas, and there was a report from, was it Forbes, the financial magazine, the worst place to live and work is Texas. Best place to live and work is New Hampshire. Was it New Hampshire or Vermont? It was one of those two. So I got on the AI and I said, AI, what's the best state to live and work in? And it said, oh, New Hampshire. AI, what's the worst state to live and work in? Oh, Texas. AI, are people moving from New Hampshire to Texas? No. It shows that people are moving from there to Texas. AI, why, if it's worse to live and work here, are people moving to Texas? It comes back and says, I kid you not, because it's people are moving to Texas because it's cheaper, there's more job opportunities, and more business opportunities in Texas than there are there. And I said, you just told me earlier that it was the worst place to live and work in. And it came back and said, there, there is some data that shows that. However, most of the actual, this is the AI saying this, most of the actual data shows that it is much better to live in Texas than in the New Hampshire area. These are holes or masked information that if you talk to the AI, and this is what I keep telling the people, even smart people, they're so used to Google. You put in one question and then you read the response. You're done. That's it. It's not how you talk with AI. You ask a question. Then you think about the response and the holes that the AI has when it's done its model, learning model. In this case of the New Hampshire thing, it tries to respond as quickly as possible and goes to the data that is newest and relevant. And you have to push it to say, I understand that little piece, but can you look at further down the data trail to see if that relative piece matches, is consistent with the other information that is available? You have to push it to do that analysis. It is designed to respond to you as quickly as possible with accurate information. Pushing the analysis is something you have to do. They don't get that. It's a conversation. It is like talking to somebody who tells you an answer, and you go, I understand your answer, and I'm not saying your answer is wrong. I just want to make sure you took into account all the other things that may possibly affect your answer. And typically, The AIs have not. So, unlike Google, where you go one question response, I almost always ask it three things to get the information I want. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's very easy to get an answer and you can check it and see what it is. I give it an example. I was like, uh, I got a string that tells me a folder location in C sharp. How can I find the parent folder? I can look that up and search for it and find something in Google, and it's actually was would be fairly easy, but I'd have to read a few things. So I asked it that, and they just gave me an answer. And guess what? The first answer was perfect. Little things like that, it can do very rapidly. But anyways, more detailed stuff, ask it multiple questions, drill down into the information. You're going to get ugly feet unless you drill down the information. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm sorry about the videos. I will look at video editors later. I am really in the process of understanding this some AI information, so I'm not probably going to do the video stuff. Plus, my work wants me to do some fixes on my laptop, so I need to do that over the weekend. You guys have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you later. Bye for now.